Kala Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh Shah, Bashem Kakwadash. I like to give double honors to the elect elders who rule well and labor in sound doctrine. Shalom, shalom. I like to open up with Sirach, chapter 7 and verse 36. It says, whatsoever thou takest in hand, remember the end, and thou shalt never do amiss. Right? So I'm going to be touching on remembering, you know, things the Lord has done for us and our forefathers, you know, and remember the things the Lord does for you or us still this very day. You want to remember everything that the Lord has done for you, you know, and still does for you, and for our and has done for our forefathers, Salakia. And you want to remember the things that the Lord has brought you through. You don't want to forget, you don't want to forget important parts of your walk. Because then it can lead to you probably get faint-hearted. You start forgetting things that you've been through and the Lord has gotten you through. Then you're like, oh man, I don't know if I'm going to get through this. It's good for you to remember the things that the Lord has brought you through. You want to remember, certain situations that put you in a bad situation. You want to remember that and not go through that same thing. You want to avoid it. If it be the Lord's will, want to open up Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse I'm going to start at 6. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord Yahweh thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all people that are upon the face of the earth. The Lord did not set his love upon you, nor choose you, because you were more in number than any people, for you were the fewest of all people, but because the Lord Yahweh loved you, and because he would keep the oath which he had sworn unto your fathers, hath the Lord brought you out with a mighty hand, and redeemed you of the house of bondmen, from the hand of Pharaoh, king of Egypt. Know therefore that the Lord Yahweh thy God, he is God, the faithful God, which keepeth covenant and mercy with them that love him and keep his commandments to 1,000 generations, and repayeth them that hate him to their face, to destroy them. He will not be slack to him that hated him. He will repay him to his face. And how can you hate the Lord? By not keeping his commandments, by disobeying him. It's that simple. Verse 11. Thou shalt therefore keep the commandments and the statutes and the judgments which I command thee this day, to do them. And I really want to get down to I'm gonna get to 12 and then I'm gonna jump to 15. It says, wherefore it should come to pass, if ye hearken to these judgments and keep and do them, that the Lord Yahweh thy God shall keep unto thee the covenant and the mercy which he sware unto thy fathers. And this, there's some of the things he would do if you keep the commandments. Well, if we keep the commandments. Verse 15 says, and the Lord Yahweh will take away from thee all sickness, and will put none of the evil diseases of Egypt, which thou knowest, upon thee, but will lay them upon all them that hate thee. And thou shalt consume all the people which the Lord thy God shall deliver thee. Thy eyes shall have no pity upon them, neither shalt thou serve their gods. For what will be a snare? For that will be a snare unto thee. Salakia. Verse 17 says, if thou shalt say in thy heart, these nations are more than I, how can I dispossess them? Thou shalt not be afraid of them, but shalt well remember what the Lord thy God did unto Pharaoh and unto all Egypt, the great temptations which thine eyes saw, and the signs, and the wonders, and the mighty hand, and the stretched out arm, whereby the Lord Yahweh thy God brought thee out. So shall the Lord thy God do unto all the people of whom thou art afraid. Right? So that, hey, that's why you should remember. You need to remember what the Lord has done for us. In case you get afraid of certain things, you want to remember, okay, well, the Lord already did this, and he got our forefathers through this. Hey, I shouldn't be afraid as long as I'm keeping the commandments. I trust in the Lord. I'm speaking to myself too, because sometimes Satan be in my head and got me worried about stuff I don't need to be worried about. Right? But I want to hold on, where I want to get. I'm gonna get 8 and 1 on down. This is Deuteronomy chapter 8 and verse 1. All the commandments which I command you this day shall you observe to do, that ye may live and multiply and go in and possess the land which the Lord swore unto your fathers. And thou shalt remember all the way which the Lord thy God led thee these 40 years in the wilderness, to humble thee and to prove thee, to know what was in thy heart, whether thou wouldest keep his commandments or no. Right? Because hey, the Lord deals with us as sons, according to let me get that. Oh, it's on down. I think it's verse. Right, it's right there. Yeah, the Lord deals with us as sons. Also in Hebrews chapter 12, verse 5 on down. Right, this is Deuteronomy chapter 8 and verse 5 says, Thou shalt also consider in thy heart that a man chasteneth his son, so the Lord Yahweh thy God chasteneth thee. Right, and then you can go to Hebrews chapter 12, 5 on down. It's basically gonna say the same thing. It says, Therefore thou shalt keep the commandments of the Lord thy God, to walk in his ways and to fear him. Right. I want to get I'm gonna get verse 11. This is what you don't want to do. Beware. It says, Beware that thou forget not the Lord thy God, and not keeping his commandments and his judgments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, lest when thou hast eaten and art full, and hast built goodly houses and dwelt therein, and when thy herds and thy flocks multiply, and thy silver and thy gold is multiplied, and all that thou hast is multiplied, then thy heart be lifted up, and thou forget the Lord thy God, which brought thee forth out of the land of Egypt from the house of bondage, who led thee through the great and terrible wilderness, wherein were fiery serpents and scorpions and drought, where there was no water, who brought thee forth water out of the rock of flint. Right. So you don't want to forget the Lord. If he gets you out of certain tribulations you've been dealing with, you don't want to forget the Lord, because then you're gonna go back to being wicked. You want to remember all the things the Lord has done for you. You don't want to forget. You don't want to be like an unfaithful child and forget everything the Lord done for you. Like people in the world, you probably done a lot of things for somebody in the world, and then hey, you slip up one time, or you don't even have to slip up. You just say no, and then they like forget you. Then they get mad. They get mad at you. They talk about you not a real friend. All right, so you don't want to be like that towards the Lord. The Lord has done, he done everything he done for us. We don't deserve unless it's it's something bad. But we don't deserve the mercy of the Lord, the long suffering of the Lord. So you want to remember all those things that the Lord has done for you. The fact that you breathing, the fact that you even have a home or some clothes. The fact that you eat or drink every day. Hey, you got legs, you got arms, hands, feet. You want to remember that. You want to be thankful for that. But Sirach chapter 11, verse 22. The blessing of the Lord is in the reward of the godly, and suddenly he maketh his blessing flourish. Say not, what profit is there of my service, and what good things shall I have hereafter? Again, say not, I have enough and possess many things, and what evil shall I have hereafter? Right? So you don't want to take what the Lord has given you for granted. You don't want to have all these things and then think something can't happen to you. That's what you don't want to do. You don't want to tempt the Lord. 25, it says, in a day of prosperity, there's a forgetfulness of affliction. And in a day of affliction, there's no more remembrance of prosperity. So when I was reading Deuteronomy chapter 8, the one I just got finished with, I believe it was 11 on down. This what I thought of. I thought of Sirach chapter 11 and verse 25. Because the Lord told us not to forget him. Don't forget the things he done for for us. Don't forget him. Don't forget the commandments, to do the commandments. Because when the Lord give us things, a lot of our people take it for granted, and then we want to go back to doing whatever we want to do. We forget the affliction the Lord has sent us. You know, we forget the tribulation the Lord has put us through to try us and stuff like that. When we in a comfortable position, we wanna just be all comfortable and be, well, I ain't gotta do nothing now, so I got everything I want. I'm good. You don't want to be like that. You want to always remember. You want, remember how you was in the world, you was being wicked, and the Lord brought you into this thing. Remember that. Remember. You just want to remember. I'm just kind of talking right now, but y'all get the point. You want to remember everything the Lord has done for you. You don't want to forget. Don't get stuff and think you got it out of your righteousness. You didn't get it from your righteousness, Because last time I checked, the Lord said our righteousness is as filthy rags. But I'm going to read it again. Sirach 11:25. In the day of prosperity, there's forgetfulness of affliction. In a day of affliction, there's no more remembrance of prosperity. Right, so I want to go back to 36. Whatsoever thou takest in hand, remember the end, and thou shalt never do amiss. Right? Let's get Deuteronomy 8 again. Deuteronomy 8:11. Beware that thou forget not the Lord thy God, and not keeping his commandments and his judgments and his statutes which I command you this day. Right? Lest when thou hast eaten and art full, and hast built goodly houses and dwelt therein, and when thy herds and thy flocks multiply, and thy silver and thy gold is multiplied, and all that thou hast is multiplied, right? You get a good house or you get some money, you don't want to forget about the Lord. Because the Lord was the one that put you in that position. He gave you those things. Unless you was being wicked and you gave yourself to Satan. But you know what I mean. Verse 14, then thy heart be lifted up, and thou forget the Lord thy God, which brought thee forth out of the land of Egypt from the house of bondage.